What the Rock is cooking.
Recording live from three locations.
This is Past the Rock.
I am Patrick, and as always, I am joined by two great men. Caesar, aka LCs.
You know, my late night show will never get canceled, so I don't have one.
And Jacob, aka Bethke.
Well, sometimes, you deserve some canceling. If you don't have sensitivities in this time of crisis, in this divisive land, I'm doing much better than most of the world right now. How are you guys?
We're solid.
Here. I'm going to switch things up a little bit this week and just start off with the big meat, the meat of the day. Start off with the big meat.
We're starting off with some big meat.
Meat of the day.
It's football. It's football season. We're heavy in it, so we're just going to hand this thing right off to C's and get rolling.
Oh my gosh! I'm used to just coming off the bench in the second
Should
half.
we do an honorary
really,
moment of silence first?
for all the backup quarterbacks out there that's playing?
For all the starting quarterbacks.
For all the hurt quarterbacks.
We can start there.
My team was one of 5 teams, I think, to not do one of those. So
yeah, you're gonna need one this week, I think.
So you brought the statistics down because they said there were some people counting that.
yeah,
the stats were doing well for the people who didn't.
Well,
More or less.
Can't win them all.
No, that game. I did not look at that game because I think I was at the movies, and I'm like, yo.
Were you also seeing the Demon Slayer movie?
Yes, and when I walked
where
out, I was like, what the fuck, Minnesota?
Yeah.
Well, I should know better than to pick Minnesota in a primetime game.
Is Atlanta playing defense? Is Minnesota?
No, the Minnesota offensive line is abysmal, and that's not good for a guy trying to learn how to play quarterback. So
yeah, and he looked terrible from what I was seeing with the clips on the back,
throwing to the
on
left.
the watch back. Oh yeah, him throwing to the left.
Look, you start with
one.
one half of the field, get that down, and then you can move to the other.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I watched the Cowboy game this week and practically little of everything else. But I did see a lot of the content, and that was definitely what we were headed towards. There's also a lot. I don't like sharing AI images. I'm ethically against them, but the one of Michael Cera wearing the Vikings uniform, kind of funny.
That was kind of fun. I did enjoy that one. But before we continue on to that one, though, let's talk about the game that you watched, Bethke.
Okay.
Because that's probably the most exciting game of the noon hour. Dallas and New York, 37-40, overtime thriller. But it didn't start that way. No, it started off looking like two bad football teams kind of seeing who wanted to win the game the least. And then eventually fireworks flew. But yeah, Beth, what did you think of that game? I know that you wanted to point out a specific Dallas Cowboys defender in this game.
No, it was so frustrating to watch, but it was something we knew going into the season, the way they built this defense, and then they're like, all right, now to make it funnier, we're going to trade Micah Parsons.
It is,
so,
yeah, it's hilarious that they've swapped actually maybe being able to stop the run now to just being dog crap at pass defense.
Can't win them all, but of course, Jadeveon Clowney is going to be back on the team wearing the number 42 now. Now, I think that we just signed a Hall of Famer, got rid of a Hall of Famer, and two draft picks. So,
You're calling Jadeveon Clowney a Hall of Famer?
After his Cowboys stint to revitalize his career and win Super Bowls,
he's going to finally make a first-team All-Pro 11 years
ago. Finally going to have double-digit sacks.
That's actually impressive. I didn't realize it was that bad for his career.
He has one second-team All-Pro.
Okay. That's not the worst. That's not the worst. But, still, okay, purples,
I think he's like 3 or 4 seasons with 9 sacks, which, not bad.
Not bad. But
it would be great if he could replicate at least that.
Yeah, he's a guy that you'd be happy to have his stat line on your team. You just wouldn't want to have spent the first pick on him or whatever.
Thoughts on the number 42 as a pass rusher?
Oh, washed. That's a number you give to somebody who's washed.
It's not. I mean, if
it's
it was
a fullback
like
number.
Yeah, it's like a safety maybe.
Don't get that to
this is
him.
a tough one.
I don't care. The numbers don't mean what they used to anymore, so it's fine.
But yeah, if you could play safety, that'd be nice. Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson.
That's what they should do. They should sign Jadeveon Clowney and stick him out there in safety. That'll help the pass.
Can it be worse than what they have right now? Yes, it can.
Yes, there's guys who didn't make the team.
Yeah, again, the pass rush is something that, like, at least you can understand. It reminds me of when DeMarcus Lawrence was first drafted, like that era of the Cowboys, where it's like, hey, second round pick, can you right now be an all pro? Like right now, hey, right now we need, but you specifically, and it's like that, but it's like that to this Boston College kid who I still need to learn how to pronounce his name, Nealand. It's like, okay, these are really talented guys, and I think any team would be excited to have this group of young players playing, but like expect them to replace Micah Parsons instantly, it's pretty insane. But
that's the clip I should have grabbed, was Nealand taking a snap.
The fake snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I love the kid. He's got great personality. He's shown some stuff, but like none of these guys are developed. So even if they'll end up having DeMarcus Lawrence like careers, just like him, it took a few years before he was a dominant player, just more or less just a good player at first. So
more time with the Flus.
Yeah, and the Flus is not. There's a lot of people that are ready to can his ass for sure after that one, and apparently he likes to play super off of everybody, so people aren't super excited about that. You have no Deron Bland this time, which definitely felt like it showed. Diggs was having an awful day at the office, and I don't know if it was coverage or if it was him, because he looked fine against Philly, but then I think you could argue Philly just kind of did what I do in college football, is just like run, just bully somebody, you know? So it's like, I don't know what to. All I know is I hated this safeties group when this season. I hated them last season, and I think I hated them the season before. And yet they are the consistent.
You guys are exactly where you're supposed to be, which is in the conversation for teams that'll probably make a playoff game.
Yeah, it was a nice bounce back game for Sidarian. That was nice. Other than that, I don't know.
Now let's look on the other side of the coin there for this game. The New York Giants,
Aubrey, obviously, for all praises due to the Most High. I think that's the final Cowboy point. Yeah. Oh, and maybe Brian Schottenheimer pump faking me on his dogs getting bit and making me think he was about to say something about the thing crazy last week.
He's been doing that thing where he keeps saying that he's like, oh, take a few shotties. But then when he describes what he's drinking, it's vodka, water, and lemons, which doesn't sound like a shot to me.
It's not?
No, it's not. It's a shotty. So it's just his last name.
So he's just trying to claim vodka.
I don't know. The more
he's trying to sound cool.
I will say by far the best. Like, I actually look forward to the YouTube clips of his post game or any of his press conferences. The one thing about it is, if he doesn't succeed at this job or another head coaching job, whatever, I don't know where the fuck he's from. He's 100% going to represent them for politics. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But this is a man built.
That's what Stephen A. Smith and Dion are angling
towards.
He is built to filibuster.
He might also just take over his dad's racing team.
Is there
Marty had a team?
Marty
Schottenheimer had a NASCAR team.
I don't know if they're still racing, but you're right. Schottenheimer did have a team.
Let's look at this real quick.
They might have partnered up with somebody at some point. Went a little.
Or wait, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
You're thinking of not Dan Snyder, Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, Joe Gibbs racing. Yeah.
Joe Gibbs racing.
Not Schottenheimer. Okay. I was like, I could see Mark. I guess you could see Shotty again. All right.
Wrong Washington team. Or wrong Washington guy.
As you were about to get a little dangerous.
We're
gonna talk about
it's just funny they consider Brian Schottenheimer in the tree of Marty, which I guess, yeah, but
I mean, yeah.
Did they even ever coach together?
I think so, actually.
Yeah, I think he was a receivers coach on the last Kansas City set.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a position coach for his father at some point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how he got started, is nepotism.
Well, yeah, I figured he got a job because of who his dad was. I didn't necessarily know it was
probably San Diego days.
I feel like that's the ethical nepotism, is to have them fuck it up under your watch before you give it to someone else.
Doc Rivers with his son.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. We should probably talk about the Giants.
Yeah. I mean, we can't. I mean, we don't have to talk about the Giants. It's just an interesting game
They
to
played-
watch because Russell Wilson looked like prime Russ Wilson in this game with his deep ball passing. Almost pushed for 500 yards in this game, 3 TDs.
Did he really run it all? I don't think so. I think he just sort of had just didn't
I mean,
really have a ton of
he had a one long of 15 yards, and then 2 other scrambles here and there. I don't think he was sacked often. Oh, he was sacked 3 times. So yeah, he still got sacked a couple times.
Nice.
But that's what you get with Russ. I mean, he's gonna want to throw that ball deep down the field, and fucking Malik Neighbors was down there somewhere.
And the other guy,
Wandale Robinson.
Wandale Robinson, that's what it is.
Yeah. No, this was a classic Russ game, and I just hope that this lures the Giants into this false sense of security. That oh man, Russ can cook. Russ still got it. Just keep running with Russ and watch the wheels fall off like they did in Pittsburgh last year.
You watched the first drive, right?
Yes, that one was.
I think that first drive says a lot about what the New York Giants are this season as an entity entirely, and that's probably also why, even though they were the better team, arguably, they lost that game. The first drive was so they're replacing the really good offensive lineman. I don't know who he is. I forget. Some big white boy, right? They're replacing him.
It was the first drive where the guy got
right?
Like eight penalties or whatever.
Basically, they dog walked the Cowboys, but almost the whole time they're constantly shooting themselves in the foot, including, I believe, 4 straight, to which he's benched almost immediately to start the game. This guard, I think it was
a weird thing. So they took him out for a second, then they put him right back in, and then they ended up taking him out again later.
Yeah.
So the first play starts with a penalty, offensive holding,
false start,
right?
Holding,
and then 5 plays later, you get another holding call, right? And then 4 plays later, you get sacked. The very next play is a penalty, but this one's on the Cowboys. And then 2 plays later, you get a 5-yard penalty, false start. You get unnecessary roughness on Dallas again. I think the very next play, and then 2 plays after that, you get a false start, incompletion, field goal. It was so disgusting.
It was incredible that drive never ended, and then ended in the most wet fart way it possibly could.
They're in a weird spot because Dable's pretty much coaching for his job, but there's no way that the team wants to not see Jackson Dart at some point. I don't know what.
Well, it's also like, not that it matters to what you're doing internally, but the external noise is always going to be a part of it. And just like, Micah's success is always going to be tied to the Cowboys this season. Saquon's success, what's his name in Green Bay, McKinney's success, so then now potentially Daniel Jones's success could all be looming quite large on the team as well.
Oh, absolutely. Now, as we go through the game, the first half was really just a back and forth of just a slog, it felt like. And then the third quarter does not set up for what was going to be one of the more explosive fourth quarters. I guess you can kind of say the 6-play, 90-yard drive from the Cowboys in the third quarter was indicative of what was to come. Because after that, right, just for our audience who didn't watch the game, Dallas gets the ball in the fourth quarter, go 11 plays, 56 yards, and a field goal. Giants respond with a touchdown in 4 plays, go 60 yards. What does Dallas do? They say, fuck it. We can do the same thing. 10 plays, 85 yards. New York's like, all right, we're going to bomb this down the field. 7 plays, 63 yards. Dallas is like, we're just gonna run this time. We're going to run this clock down. So what happens? New York's like, all right, we're going to go score. 3 plays, 63 yards, and a touchdown. And they left way too much time on the clock for Brandon Aubrey to just send this thing into overtime. And then after that, the magic kind of went away because overtime was punt, interception, field goal. It was
interception, field goal. Okay, I couldn't remember if the interception directly was the field goal.
The Aubrey game-time field goal, we should note, was 64 yards. It wasn't like a...
Yeah, and the actual most important thing from the Shoddy press conference was that and this is probably not the only team, but he's essentially told Dak that it's 50-yard line. Like that's like straight up. If it's
With Aubrey,
if it's the 50, he was like, actually he said 50-ish. He
Yeah.
didn't even say,
I mean, with
50,
the new
50-ish.
touchbacks, it's 1 first down and you might be in field goal range.
Yeah, so
Depending on who your kicker is, for
so
sure.
yeah, I mean, you definitely-
specifically the Cowboys.
you will see the
Cowboys
Cowboys.
and
We're not
the
alone.
guy who
There's
threw the
quite a
70-yarder in preseason.
Maybe I need to see more from him in the real
Philly's
season.
guy
but
can kick.
That was a real kick, man. Those are guys
it
playing
is,
for the
but yeah, there's a difference between doing it once and Aubrey, who pretty much
has never done a
90 plus
70-yarder. By the way.
No, but anything over 50, he's crazy good.
The idea is if you have the leg to kick a 70-yarder, you're good for anywhere.
I really thought I witnessed the Brett Maher record in person, right? I guess it's just Cowboys record, but I watched that one in person against the Eagles. It was just a bullshit thing that McCarthy did right before halftime, and or was it actually? It might have been JG, and right before halftime, and it worked, and it was the funniest thing. We never thought it would happen again, and here we are, just watching this shit happen routinely with the different guy. Actually, even weirder.
Yeah, he has to have some. Like Brandon Aubrey has to have the record for most 60-yard field goals made, right?
I
feel like that's something that
I heard something about it. Let me see if I can't pull it up.
If shit goes downhill, you think we have 3 first rounders for him next year, or at the deadline?
You could probably convince somebody. You could probably convince the 49ers.
Yeah,
can't find a kicker to save their life.
Are you gonna gut 65% of your offense like that though? 'Cause
who knows? Jerry's got some fucking kid you've never heard of that he's ready to just throw in there behind Aubrey.
Or maybe Jerry just loves Aubrey. He's like, this kicker, he just.
Is this true? He was the first kicker ever to hit a field goal as time expired in the regular regulation and overtime.
Yeah, that was that game right there.
That's crazy.
Which one?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not often you get those situations. So
in this past game. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know his time was expiring on both when he hit him.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. He called game both times.
Well, okay, Brandon Aubrey has 2 64-yard field goals. All other kickers in NFL history have 2 combined. That's one. There was another one, something about 60-yarders, but I can't quite remember. Oh, he tied the NFL record for 4 60-yarders in a career.
Yeah.
In a career, and then we probably did that in a season.
This is season 3 for him.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
Keep going, man. Hey, if there's one thing that I'm allowed to have as a Dallas Cowboy fan, it's a cold-ass white boy that can boot the ball.
Soccer
they don't always last for a
soccer
while.
player from Notre Dame, the classic Dallas Cowboy.
It feels so nice because remember Jerry spending all the money on Vanderjagt and then instantly just ended up being the worst almost one of the worst free agent signings ever, and it's just a kicker.
Right. Yes. I remember that. He was so praised coming out of Indy.
But he was an asshole.
Yeah, they couldn't even keep him in the locker room, man. Oh, anyway. Dangerous. The Dangerous Giants are 0-2, but maybe they still have something else.
No. I mean, they'll win a couple games, but...
Yeah, and hey, it looks like they'll be good for a few entertaining games. That one was entertaining. Usually I would not have spent or dedicated this much time to that particular game, but it was just such a good.
Yeah, it was unexpected to have that fourth quarter,
and it might be more exciting for Cowboy fans if this trend of Schottenheimer continues, whereas Mike McCarthy would blow out terrible teams and then get crushed by good teams. Maybe Schottenheimer will just play every team, no matter how good or bad they are, within a score, and you'll at least have some excitement. Viking way.
I feel very confident that this Cowboys team will be struggling uphill most of the season, regardless.
It all depends on Dak, I think. I mean, if he's
and
upright,
the defense.
But
the development of the defense is fine. Yes, are they going to pull a rabbit out of the hat with Jadeveon Clowney? I guess stranger things have happened, but no one's betting on it right now, so it's tough. It's just I think it really is funny how parallel this is to those. It's basically, hey Romo, you want that contract? Cool, bro. Can't pay for the rest of the team. Our bad, bro. Bro, you taking all that money? We can't pay anybody.
Oh no. Well, anyway,
the next one. Ugh, it's getting ugly.
Oh yeah. Speaking of getting ugly, it's getting ugly for 5 teams who now have to turn to their backup quarterbacks. Now, It is time for Patrick to truly experience what it's like to have Carson Wentz throw the football for your football team.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm not-
man. Aren't you excited? This is the second time.
Not expecting it to be any worse than it's been through 7 of the 8 quarters we played this year. So,
Oh, man. Listen.
but the O-line sucks, so I don't know what to do. They're all hurt.
I don't want to step on college football's toes, but I do feel like you having to go through both Texas and Minnesota seasons this year would have been.
But after last year, like, which was incredible on both fronts, honestly. I mean, neither team won a title, but they both went really, they both did really well. So, I can handle
Now it's time for you to cycle back to.
You're ready to watch some developmental quarterback play.
Hey, that's fine.
But okay, let's look at this.
I've never had a great one, anyways.
This is the second time in history. This is really weird. This has happened twice. That the Philadelphia Eagles took a quarterback second overall, and at the end of his career, he somehow manages to play for both Washington and then play.
How long was McNabb a Viking? I do remember this happening.
1 season.
Yeah,
no,
it wasn't a whole season. It was not.
He was probably with the team for the whole season. But he wasn't playing the whole season.
He started, and then
I think he got
they
hurt,
quickly.
right?
No, he just sucked.
Which year?
I'm almost there.
I want to say 2010 was his last year. 2011 or 12. Because he was out of the league, but yeah, that was his last season.
So he was Brett Favre's replacement.
Yes.
Okay, we released him on December of 2011.
So yeah, he didn't.
He almost made it through the season.
Almost the whole season.
Because Brad Childress was still our coach. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So
he wasn't teacher.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't good for Minnesota. He wasn't as dog shit awful as he was the year before in Washington. But still not a great way to end your career right there for him. Oh damn, he got sacked.
Interestingly enough, his fourth highest completion percentage was that year with the Vikings, despite being 1-5.
Yeah.
I wonder how many checkdowns to AD he threw. Oh no, that's the Achilles year, so I don't know.
Oh, that was it was all bad for Minnesota that year, wasn't it? Huh?
Yeah, Brad Childress was our coach. That's pretty much all you need to know.
No. I know he was an Eagles offense coordinator.
That's the year we drafted Ponder. Also, okay.
Oh, gross!
Man,
Christian Ponder.
Not a good
what a guy.
2011 was a weird year for me in sports. Fucking Rangers. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, aside from Minnesota, who's having a backup quarterback, the Cincinnati Bengals are now turning back to Jake Browning, with Joe Burrow being hurt again, this time with turf toe, which
Turf Monster got him.
Yeah, Turf Monster got him. And you know what's really pathetic on the Cincinnati Bengals side is they're like the only team in the NFL that doesn't have those carts that like wheel players off the field when they're hurt. Your
cheap.
Your $50 million plus salary quarterback just has to walk it off. That's
I say, what is it? What trade-off would you rather have? No cart, or you got to go through a nightclub?
I'd rather go through the nightclub.
Okay.
Because imagine you're walking. That's a long distance to the locker room, especially if you tore your ACL, tore your Achilles. Like, it make me go through the nightclub. I don't give a shit. I don't want to put any pressure on whatever's broken, torn, or is going to cause me to never be able to play the game the same way again. But yeah, that is pathetic that the Bengals can't seem to protect.
Like rodeo clowns and like the stretcher thing.
I mean, you could do that. It's still sad, but it'd be really funny. In a kind of dystopian type of way.
Is it going to have one that tears away too?
Where tears away.
Yeah, where like they go pick him up. And
yeah. They do a bit one first. There was a time where Mike Madonna fell off a stretcher on the ice when they were taking him off, and everyone thought that was going to be really, really bad, and it turned out not. I mean, obviously it wasn't good, but
yeah,
I feel like they got you on the flatboard, and then like they're trying to put him up on the thing.
I think that might have just been good enough to be pre-social media. That would have been a little bit more notable.
Yeah, the Stars had a guy die, and people don't really remember that, and that was like 2018.
I don't remember that. What?
Rich Peverly's heart stopped coming back to the bench, and they had to like take him. He came back to life, but
Okay.
they had to take him to the hospital
Not
in the middle of
quite.
the game because his heart just stopped.
Not quite the NFL situation.
The Stars
Okay.
did have a guy die. That's why they wear helmets now, because he got hit in the head and then hit the ice and then died a couple days later.
Well,
Ow.
shit. Okay.
That would have been
Oh.
Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Well,
Fucking ow.
indeed. All right. Speaking about, there's some more injury news on the backup QB front. Okay. So yeah, you got Wentz coming in for a hurt JJ McCarthy. Which I don't remember what his injury
Ankle.
was. Ankle. Jake Browning coming in. Which, by the way,
ankle and pride.
ankle and pride. Now, this might seem like a hot take for some, but I honestly think like it's kind of wild that the Cincinnati Bengals offense doesn't miss a beat when Jake Browning's in there for Joe Burrow. It's a little weird how they function that way. But I remember seeing somewhere like, yeah, his record's 4-3, but like the points per game, yards per game is not that different from when Burrow's in there.
I mean, a good offense is fine. I mean, you guys won your first Super Bowl completely swapping quarterbacks in the middle of the year.
Not the middle of the year, at the end of the year.
But
end of the
like,
year.
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's just
if the
interesting.
system is actually good, if the coaches are actually good, it shouldn't matter that much unless they're just throwing picks.
Which is funny because Zach Taylor, I still don't think is a good head coach. But yeah, that's besides the point. Now we have Tyrod Taylor, who hasn't played since 2023, coming in for the New York Jets. Justin Fields got concussed. You want to talk about injury and pride? That guy went from having probably the best game of his career in week 1 to having the worst game of his career in week 2, and then getting knocked out. That's not great signs there for the Justin Fields experience in New York. And then you have Mac Jones, who we already knew was going to play.
You got the Mac truck.
You got the Big Mac right there playing for San Francisco for a few more weeks. And now we're awaiting news still of Jaden Daniels' situation. I believe he has a knee sprain. He didn't practice today as of recording, so there's a chance that Marcus Mariota gets to play.
Yeah, I might have to switch my pick over to Vegas if Mariota's starting a game for Washington.
Yeah, I would not feel comfortable with Marcus Mariota as my starting quarterback, which I think at one point he was a starting quarterback for at least one game for the Eagles.
He had that one really cool playoff game where he threw a pass, it got deflected back to him. He went and scored. Got a first down or something. But other than
those
that,
first 2 seasons of his were nice, and then it just all unraveled really quickly thereafter.
Apparently, he needs a Derrick Henry type on his team.
I guess so. I don't know. Well, he's not going to get that in Washington because they don't have Austin Eckler anymore. That's for sure. Yeah, it's not looking great for him.
Is Austin Eckler now going to be taken off of the NFL Players Association unceremoniously, only to come back and?
Oh man, if he's part of the next
I gotta check.
scandal,
Is it a contract year?
Yeah, exactly.
oh man, that would be so funny if the cycle repeated itself for the NFL Players Union like that. Oh, but anyway, there is that's all there is on backup QB talk. Now, before we get into the clip show, we will need to talk about one thing. This is just me getting this off my chest, gentlemen. I've seen enough discourse over this, and I kind of hate myself for adding to the discourse surrounding this one play.
$5 says tush push. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Uh-oh.
Listen, at this point, NFL, look at me. I'm just begging you, just ban it. It's clear that each and every single one of you owners is soft, weak-willed men who can't just go to your head coaches and be like, you see that play that works well about 90% of the time? Run that play. Run that play that gets you 1 yard. It's just 1 yard. People are losing their shit over a play designed to get 1 yard, maybe 2 to 3 at the most. You guys have Dean Blandino bitching and whining unprofessionally on the Fox broadcast, being like, I'm so done with the tush push guys. Nut the fuck up, you little bitch. All right? You go in here, you're known for your non-call or whatever it was of the catch, no catch. All right? So you're already off to a bad start with your credibility. Fast forward a couple years, and now you're like, I can't be bothered to do my job and tell you that the defensive line, all those guys are committing a neutral zone infraction, and then on the offensive line you have false starts, and maybe they're also in the neutral zone. I can't be bothered to explain that. Look at that. Look at that. You saw all those Chiefs players, and they're complaining. You have Chris Jones complaining, oh, they're false start. I'm like, hey, listen, just get better officiates. Officiate better. Don't try to like pin it all on this one play. Do better. Do your jobs better. And now, because the NFL also owns ESPN, you have Mike Greenberg, who honestly hasn't been a real journalist or hasn't had any semblance of integrity for over a decade, going out there vilifying the play like it's some monstrous evil thing. You have Adam Schefter, who has Roger Goodell's hand so far up his ass, he's an actual puppet now, going on there. It's like, well, this game was won in March. Bitch. Did you not watch the game? And then, for those who don't know, he went on to a Philadelphia Eagles radio station and was called out on his stance. And you immediately see him just unravel because he is, again, arguing a point that's not even his. And honestly, Adam Schefter, you have lost any credibility of being like an actual reporter. You're just like a hot take artist at this point.
You're ruining things.
You and everybody in ESPN. So, yeah, there's that. Please, NFL, how about this? Just ban the play. Admit that all of you are soft, weak-willed human beings who get their feelings hurt over a QB sneak, and let's get on with it. All right? I'm sure that the best offensive line in football can find a new way to get 1 yard that you'll cry about later in a few years. End of rant.
Beautiful.
God. So
there was I typed in tush push and there was so much bitching on Twitter. It was fun,
over just a play design for 1 yard.
I will say this one pushback. There is a little bit of a neutralizing of the effectiveness of the tush push. I'm fine with all of the other stuff, but the reality of being able to draw up plays to get to a 3rd and 2 or to a 4th and 1 or even a 4th and 2 is a significant advantage in football if you then can almost 100% of the time complete those downs. So, like, I do think strategically, if they're not calling this correctly, it is unfair and should be taken out or fixed. But it looks like the Eagles found the mother of all gray areas, I guess. But, you know, I mean, we watch the NBA every day, and they never call the free throw
Carries,
stuff. Stuff. Like there's so many. A lot of grace in the steps you can take. We're going to talk about a college football game that had an awful holding call missed, and like as much as I am like, damn, that was a bad missed call. I'm also like, that's holding, and like that's also a part of the way
holding. And apparently, you can just punch a player in the face whenever he goes to rush the passer now.
There's a lot of tactics.
That guy on the Giants got called for it. So
and the Cowboy got fined because he didn't get caught in real time.
Yeah, but it's just like an annoying topic now. I'm like, hey, just either get rid of the play.
Well, I remember what the best one did. This is the moving screens for the Golden State Warriors. It's definitely the moving screens thing where, yes, there's 100%.
The Pats running fucking pick plays.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that was already just straight illegal. They were just trying to get away with it.
Right. No, but those are the little gray area rules where, like, not only is the team, in my opinion, taking advantage of it knowingly, the referees are consistently not calling things the way they should be. And that is exacerbating the problem more than the team taking advantage of it.
And that's and I think that's where a bulk of my issue with this is, because it seems to be that most people have an issue with how it's being officiated or not being officiated in this case.
Now that's what they're saying, because
now what they're saying, right?
And now everyone's been working double overtime to make sure we have.
They didn't actually have a good point before, but now they're like, look at this one clip where 2 of their heads move before anyone else.
There is a decent amount of clips that show it.
It's
still ticky tack. It's still one of those things where I agree with the ticky tack nature of it, and that they are slowly but surely just hunting for ways to get this thing gone.
Yeah,
a microcosm.
they've been working
just our
overtime
society in
this year,
general of
Yeah.
like, yeah, the Eagles are winning because they're getting that extra half yard, not because they're just fucking bigger and stronger than
Right. It
95% of the
ignores
teams
the
out there. And
it ignores the roster building strategy that's probably the most important part of how the Philadelphia Eagles are built right now. Not
like-
even just the talent on the team.
And they get to run
That's
that
the reason
play
they run the
because
play so much.
they
Because
get to run
they
that play
built
because they're in that
trenches.
position. Yeah, like it's
Yeah. Like, because you look at that offensive line, you have a second-round draft pick in their center. You have a first-round draft pick in Lane Johnson, second-round draft pick in Landon Dickerson. They developed Mailata, who never played football before, but they spent their time developing him from the ground up. And then you look at Tyler Steen, again, another guy they've been developing for years. They go out and develop offensive linemen who are bigger and stronger than their defensive
Well, and they
counterparts,
also
but they
have
can
been
do
able to afford to trade for a big time receiver
and a quarterback
sign a
who
big
squats
time.
more than most
No, but
offensive
this
linemen.
what I'm talking about is just within the conception of or the construction of that offensive line, right? Because that's where this play stems from. You can't make this play successful if your offensive line isn't successful in getting those yards.
Right, but I also
Agreed.
think that Philadelphia's actual entire model is different than most teams, and that's why they might be ahead of the curve. Is because so many were
It's
like,
funny
"Get
because
the quarterback, figure out the rest later." And the Eagles were like, "Quarterback kind of sucks, bro."
Yeah, we won with Nick Foles.
they're like, yeah, no, the strategy.
We took Carson Wentz and Nick Foles into a Super Bowl.
Philadelphia basically was like, you know what's kind of overrated? All these goddamn quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're
And
like,
it's funny,
listen,
it'd be
we're
really
gonna
funny.
build.
They're not that wrong.
It'd be really funny if in like the 2013 NFL meetings before the season, they're like, we have to just ban Adrian Peterson. He's just not allowed to play football because we can't stop him, even when we put 11 in the box.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't ban Calvin Johnson. It's like, this is the first receiver that's coming in on 2,000 yards.
30 of the owners were like, there's a team in Detroit?
No, but listen, as far as the Eagles' strategy is concerned, their whole philosophy has always been, since Andy Reid and then eventually Howard Roseman took over, build in the trenches, build a good offensive line, build a good defensive line, and then build and fill the rest out. And sometimes it works to success, and sometimes you're like, damn, we have nobody who can throw the ball, or we have nobody who can catch the ball, or we have nobody that can run the ball, or anybody who can cover. But eventually, like 2022 and then last season, it actually does pan out. You get lightning in a bottle, or sometimes it may look like, for the first time in my lifetime, sustained success as a Super Bowl contender post Andy Reid. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. Just get rid of the play at this point. I don't care anymore. If anything, it forces Nick Sirianni to be a little bit more creative with getting first downs. And I would like to see if that man actually can orchestrate an offense that doesn't look like it's stuck in 1988. I would just love to see that. But that's a different point. Anyway, gentlemen, it's time for everybody's favorite clip show, the highlights and lowlights, brought to you by Pass the Run. Now, this one, I believe, is going to be a little less highlight, lowlight. Just this is a highlight, this is a lowlight. I just went with plays that caught my eye, for good or for bad. And the first one is going to be related to this right here. It may be the new spiritual successor to the Will Levis lowlights. And that's how a white man runs the football play.
That's how a white man runs a football.
And that's how Cam Scatterbo takes it up the middle and runs up the gut.
Is it Donovan Wilson with that?
Donovan Wilson with that
That's
superior.
when you're not even trying to tackle, you're just hitting the strip ball button.
Exactly. You already know you're cooked.
This guy runs a 4.8 and just absolutely looked like he was going to run away from the defense. Except, I guess Donovan Wilson sort of saved the day, but not really. He just got in the way.
Slowed him down.
Slow him down just a little bit. Next thing.
He did just enough to continue to collect the check.
Oh, yes. You know who doesn't need to be collecting checks, though? The Saints defense, because you can't allow a Mack truck, the Big Mac, Mac Jones, to step in the pocket and scramble and then juke you? Like, my goodness, number 20, what are you doing there?
The only
buddy?
defense is they're all afraid of getting flagged for touching quarterbacks.
Yes, but it's a backup quarterback, so I feel like there's a little bit more leniency. You know, like that's not Brock Purdy, that's Mac Jones. The NFL could give less of a shit about the backups. But whatever. Now, gentlemen, let's replace that horrendous attempt at a juke with actual jukes. Jalen Warren for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at this. Catch and run and whoop, breaks a tackle. Makes a man miss, breaks a tackle, jukes that man out of his shoes, and he could have gone all the way here if his
horse collar.
You know, if number 19 kind of did a better job. Yeah, a little bit better blocking from number 19 there. And he could have gotten a nice catch and run touchdown. But alas, he's just going to have to settle for being part of the highlight show.
It was a sick yak, though.
Sick, yeah. Now, we go from an impressive catch and run to probably the most impressive 4-yard catch I've ever seen that didn't result in a touchdown. A.J. Brown did not do a lot last Sunday, but he did do this.
Jesus Christ.
He just snatched
those gloves. Get the referee over there.
Let's look at that one more time. Because I don't even think he saw the ball. I don't even think he was looking for the ball. He just put his hand up and just got that one. One more time.
Was he falling? Yeah.
He was falling. Caught that. First down. That was
kind of gives enough push to get up there. Yeah.
Push. I don't know.
Is that no, like pushed off the ground?
Yeah, okay. I thought you were like pushing off.
No.
Pushing off 22. I was like, oh, well,
Trent McDuffie.
Oh, I don't even know.
Trent McDuffie was named like he should have been a NASCAR driver.
And then instead, he's one of the best corners in the NFL.
Or like a AAA left fielder.
A AAA. Yeah, that also works. All right, now here's a low light from this game. Both what happens in coverage and the end result of the play. So you're going to have Dory Jackson right over here just running into his guy.
No.
And you think this should be a touchdown. It's not. It's not.
Pat, what happened?
Pat missed the ball there. Let's look at that again.
Is he getting hit?
Dory Jackson just boom. Just does have no idea where he's supposed to be at with this spacing. And then you have is it Thornhill? I can never remember his name. But one of the wide receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs just all by himself, busted coverage. You know, NFL, the Chiefs could have won the game if Pat Mahomes had made that play and not any tush-push related shenanigans.
Or, you know, Travis Kelce doesn't drop a ball or
drop a ball and that ends up in an interception. But who am I to say, right? Who am I to say? Anyway, I am one to say, though, that there is somebody down the field who can make a catch, and that's D-Hop, baby. Look at this. You have Lamar Jackson scrambling back there, looking for somebody. He said, fuck it. DeAndre Hopkins is down there somewhere.
Damn.
Wait,
that man still has
Did you also bring the unction tweet video that he made for himself?
No, I did not.
Which one?
I didn't see that.
He made
D-Hop?
he made himself. Yeah, D-Hop made himself his own little deal. Let me just pull this thing on up.
If you can pull it up, that would be great.
Let me just do a little magic here.
The magic.
Studio magic.
Look at it. It's even got the AI thing on there.
Yeah.
I'm still got it.
You know who paying for that.
We still got it. That's beautiful. All right. Whoa. Picture.
Oh, there you go. Well, he still has it. Now, guys, this is something that pains my heart because, you know, Will Levis has a special place in PTR history, right? He was the entire spiritual animal, if you will, for the low light section last year. He's benched now, and in his place is Cam Ward. Well, Cam Ward said, you know what? I'm going to pour one out for Will Levis, and I'm going to do what Will Levis would have done in these situations. Let's look at this. All right, you have Cam Ward stepping back to pass, escapes the rusher.
This is perfect.
And then throws across his body for a
This is learning
touchdown.
learning all the wrong lessons.
And let's
Yeah,
look at another view
that's
here.
what everyone's that's what
Bird's eye
everyone's been
view.
saying. And like I hear that, but also
It's
That was
cool.
beautiful. No, this is a hell of a play. Listen, don't ever do this again, but still, I love that you did it. Now, this is the Will Levis special right here. The fucking
Oh god. Oh wow.
and he completed it.
He actually had a guy there.
He actually had a guy, Will Levis, who would just throw it there and hope somebody was in the vicinity. This guy, Cam Ward's like, nope, I know 84 is down there.
yuck.
Two labor zone.
Brought to us by Wingstop, apparently.
Yes.
Unpaid advertisement.
Or maybe they did pay me. I don't know. Maybe they gave me some free wings. No, they didn't. I wish they did though. But hey, Wingstop, if you're watching this, come on, you get on here, sponsor the show. Anyway, and yeah, that is all I got for the clips, the highlights, the lowlights, the whatever lights. And let's just go ahead and move on to the next quarter, maybe, or should we just do all the football in here?
No, let's break it up a little bit. No,
Let's break it up.
You're right. No, you're good. You're good. We'll just do 2 long halves instead of 4 quarters.
All right, so let's finish this second half off strong, or this first half. Sorry. All right, Patrick, it's time to see how we did in this week's picks. Let us know how we did with ourselves.
So here's our graphic. Bethke went 8-8 this week. It was not a great showing. And me and C's tied again this week at 12-4, so we're 22-10 overall.
Really no
bad.
excuse
Not
from
bad.
the Dolphins here. Trevor Lawrence, Shadow Realm, Houston Texans. What's happening, bro?
Yeah, no, that one pissed me off because I watched the end of that game and I'm just thinking to myself, all right, Nick Chubb gets the ball up the middle. Both teams have 3 timeouts. Oh, he scores it. Wow, they just left a lot of time on the clock for Baker Mayfield, who has plenty of fourth quarter comebacks in his career. And then just watching them mismanage everything from that point on. Tampa Bay, by the way, watching them mismanage the clock and somehow bumblefuck their way into an 80-yard drive. That
Baker doesn't need timeouts.
Doesn't need timeouts. Baker Mayfield doesn't need a working knee or an ankle, because I don't know if y'all saw. I wish I had. I should have gotten a clip of this, but he falls down, immediately goes to grab something that's hurting him, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson's talking shit and like a sleeper agent. You know, Baker Mayfield's activating. He's like, "You talking shit? You talking shit?" And just immediately forgets he's hurt, and then just a couple plays later, wins the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm just looking at the Houston Texans like, what are we doing here? You guys are just not good. I'm kind of regretting picking them to win the division because they looked like a tire fire on offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, outside of that, the most egregious thing that I did was pick Minnesota in primetime. I should have known.
Yeah, but it's also like Atlanta in prime time. It was kind of a lose-lose.
Yeah, but something had to give, and I think because you had I don't know, just in a more exciting. I don't even know more exciting or anything. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to go with there.
Bijan and field goals, buddy.
Yeah, Bijan and field goals. The Pittsburgh one. Also,
yeah, disappointed in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers washed again.
Not just that. I'm like, bro, the Seattle Seahawks always struggle going east. What the fuck, Pittsburgh? You're as east as it gets for them this season. You couldn't take advantage of that. You let Sam Darnold beat you. This isn't dude. Sam Darnold throwing to Justin Jefferson. This is Sam Darnold throwing to
Aaron Rodgers, or is that Tommy Maddox out there, bro?
That's a name. Yeah. Either way, I'm disappointed. But you know what? I think it's time we check in to see how we PTR Pass the Rock did against our good friend, Lord and Savior Jesus. Jesus.
So look, last week we did really well against Jesus.
He was bad last week.
He took that personally. Vengeance was thrust upon us.
Jesus went from being 9-7 last week to 15-1 this week.
Look at that win percentage, man. He went 24.
He took 5 extra games from us this week, all the last 4 games, and then also the Seattle-Pittsburgh game.
He was one bad penalty from the Denver Broncos from going undefeated in this
And
league.
yep, that's the one game all four of us picked incorrectly. And the only game that all three of us picked incorrectly together.
That's right. And so now here we are. I just love.
So
I love
Jesus is now up 6-4 on our three-headed monster.
I hope I made better picks this week, but there's probably not a good chance of that.
Well, I'm looking at the very second game, and I'm
No, what are you talking about? That was the easiest one to pick. Oh shit.
okay.
I haven't made my picks yet. I'll probably do it after we're done
Did have
recording.
a funny game, although Bethke kind of spoiled it earlier. All right, so I'm going to give you some trivia, and you're going to guess who's that podcaster.
Okay.
Which one of us has a only 26% accuracy rate picking Eagles games?
Is it Jacob Bethke?
Oh, it is. It is Bethke.
26% of the time he gets it right every time.
Bethke, I'll give you one guess as to who your second worst one is.
It's either the Packers or the 49ers.
Dallas Cowboys, 31%.
Oh, that would make sense too. Yeah. Okay, that would definitely make sense. That was also heavily weighted last year. I was trying to be optimistic.
Oh, yeah. Last year is definitely outweighing everything from this year for sure, since it's the only 2 years we have. C's, your worst one is Arizona at 47%. And your best is the Giants at 84%. Bethke, your best Houston at 84%.
Wow, that's a wild one that he just gets. Houston.
I have been watching as much Houston Texans football as Cowboys football in my life.
Well, yeah, part of it
works.
Yeah.
So I do sometimes feel like I know the Houston one, but now I don't watch any pro football except for the Cowboys, so I really don't. That's pure guessing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Your bits gave for some funny percentages there at the bottom because neither me or Caesar have anything under 47%.
I've got like 3 consistent teams that are 4 consistent teams. Especially this year. Green Bay is going to fuck me this year. Oh my God.
The hate watch, man. It's going to get you.
The hate watch it comes at a mighty toll.
And then I blacked out Bethke and Jesus' picks of Joe Burrow for MVP. I think that's pretty much shot.
Damn, bro.
And then some of the division predictions, mostly mine,
Patrick,
are not looking good.
You didn't tell us who you're the worst at picking. And
my worst is the Lions. Actually, it's a 3-way tie of the Lions, Broncos, and Falcons.
At what percent?
All at 47%.
Interesting.
And then, Pittsburgh is my best, also at 84%.
That's wild. All right. Well, there you go. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to look over these. Oh, wow. I am. Why did I pick a Giant? Well, I guess because the Giants suck, and I'm cognizantly.
So, yeah, this is combining both like when you pick for them and when you pick against them. So,
yeah.
You're getting both there. Although, never mind. That was just this year. I have last year's stats hidden. I was like, what happened?
Oh, small sample size this year. We only have 2 games, so.
Yep. Yeah, there's some errors on the stats because we can't divide by 0. We'll get some numbers more fleshed out, but that's I thought it'd be fun to.
I'm really good at picking Tennessee games. That's weird too.
I saw Jacob's wild numbers on Cowboys and Eagles. I thought that was funny.
Oh, I can't wait to see how that plays
out. Why would I pick for the Eagles to win games?
It's not necessarily that you're picking them to win. It's just you're inaccurate in whether they're going to win or lose.
I bet most of the time with them it's because
your bits have brought your percentages wildly down, and you're doing it to your Green Bay one this year apparently.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I am. I pick games as if I like. Who do I want to win this game?
What you want to see, yeah.
And
that's fair.
Of course, I want to watch them lose every game.
All right. Well, speaking of watching teams lose, it's time for the Watch It, Skip It, Train Wreck.
Watch it, skip it, train wreck.
All right.
I didn't write out a full. We didn't start the Via reverse this week because I didn't.
You can just replay. You can replay a song if you want. I don't know.
Well, okay. What we got here? See if there's anything even on here.
We got something? Let's see.
LCs. I'm begging of you, please tell me what to watch. LCs. Please tell me if this one's a train wreck. Your knowledge is beyond compare, never wrong, and I don't care what the pundits tell me on TV. I need to know, can you tell me, should I watch it or skip it? It might just be another train wreck. LCs.
And we'll just fade that back down.
I don't care. I love that one. All right. Well, gentlemen, let's finish off strong with some watch it, some skip it, some train wreck action here in week 3 of the NFL season. We're going to go with the watch it, and I have 2 games on the docket for you guys to consider whether you should watch it. You have the Los Angeles Rams going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Who can forget about their Winter Classic playoff game this past playoffs? This past playoffs, right?
I forgot.
Well, of course, there's a lot that happens in between that game and now, but still, it was one of the more entertaining playoff games. Really, any team, either one could have won that game, and so here they are having a rematch. And then on the other side, I'm going to have for you Monday Night Football, an island game. It's kind of cheating because it's the only thing you can watch if you're going to watch football on Monday night. And it is the Detroit Lions against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, why would you want to watch one versus the other? So, Rams, Eagles. Listen, if you hate the Eagles, they are struggling to pass the football. That Rams defense is no joke, right? Can they get it together, or will the Rams knock the Eagles off their high horse and give them an ass kicking that you may want to see them receive? It's very possible. The Rams have, Matthew Stafford looks mildly healthy. He has seemingly gotten a decent connection with Devonta Adams. You still have Puka Nacua in there. They're going up against Adoree Jackson, who can't cover worth a damn. Something's got to give him that game. And then, of course, Detroit, Baltimore. These 2 offenses, real explosive. Detroit had a bad week 1, bounced back in week 2 against the Chicago Bears. Although I think everybody is going to have bounce back games against the Chicago Bears at this rate. And then the Baltimore Ravens, they had a maddening loss in week 1. They said, "Not again. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make this right, and we're gonna kick Joe Flacco's ass, and we're gonna go into week 3 1-1, trying to go 2-1. So one of these 2 teams will drop to 1-2 on the season, not where you want to be at when you are trying to be a Super Bowl contender like those 2 teams are. So with that said, gentlemen, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to maybe throw your own options for them. I'll watch it, or you can give your vote on one of these 2 games. Patrick, what say you?
What you're telling me you're not excited about?
The
No, I'm
answer's
just
probably
kidding. Baltimore Detroit's probably the best matchup on the day or on the weekend, so I think that fits.
Becky?
Yeah, I mean, I think that ultimately we need to be watching Miami Buffalo on Thursday night.
I mean, we might under a different label, but
Gotcha. No. Well,
Under a
I mean, at this point, I think McDaniel's first guy gone. So I'm trying to see if we got a coach fired soon.
Could happen as soon as Friday.
It could be. Yep. It could be.
He's probably not going to get fired for losing to the Bills in Buffalo. He'll probably get at least 1 more week unless it just looks real bad.
Which it might.
I'm kind of hoping that it's a funny one. Not that I hate this guy for any reason. It's just kind of funny whenever an NFL team falls off the wagon and it gets shithoused 50-10 or something. It just doesn't happen that often.
But it might for this particular Dolphins team.
Especially funny because this Dolphins team put up 70 once.
Yeah. Not
Tyreek
that long
Hill's
ago.
just this close to just fucking punching Tua in the face.
It might just happen sooner than we think. Now, with that, I'm going to go ahead and just going to go ahead and say that Detroit versus Baltimore is this week's must-watch game of the week, which we'll talk about at the end of this segment here. Now, we have the skip it. There is a lot of bad football matchups here, and so it's really hard to kind of parse through and be like, well, this one is worse than this one. But I tried my best here, gentlemen. I got Tampa Bay versus the New York Jets, who will have Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. And then on the other side, I have the Las Vegas Raiders against the Washington Commanders, who would potentially be starting Marcus Mariota. I see no fun in watching any of these two matchups. I think both matchups might end in less than entertaining fashion. One, I think Tampa Bay is going to blow out the Jets. And two, I think the Las Vegas Raiders are just going to play an ugly game that they have no business having against a team that's going to have their backup running back, their backup quarterback, and just a overall, I think, overrated roster coming out into the field. So with that said, my most must skip game is going to be Washington against the Raiders. But gentlemen, I want to hear your opinions. What do you got?
What are we skipping?
I think Indianapolis, Tennessee might be the least even like train wreck likely. I think that'll just be boring as hell either way. So I
don't know, man. Indiana's been doing pretty well, and Cam Ward is living. He's been possessed by Will Levis in a way that I don't think anybody saw coming.
Yeah, there's something about the AFC South that I'm just gonna throw that one in the mix. But I think both of your other games are also games I would not be especially interested in.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch a second more of the tush push than I have to. I'm skipping the Rams-Eagles game. It's you're right though. It's like Sirianni plans for, like, he wants to do it like 4 times a game. I know it's not even necessarily true, but like, god damn, bro. Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, here we go again.
You know how excited I am when I get the chance to run the fullback dive in football video games? I'm doing the same bit.
That's fair, but the football dive is like, that's like fun. Like, that's like a good one. And it's like a funny one when it doesn't work because it just looks stupid on the video game.
It does.
It just doesn't move, and then they just like every pile just falls on it. It just doesn't work. It's just like it's either a yes or a no. It's just a binary option on the game. But yeah, fuck watching that one. I'm bored of the Eagles. New super team.
And I never thought I'd get to that point where someone's like, "I'm bored of watching this Eagles team because they're good."
Yes.
Yes. How times have changed for me. All right. So there you go, audience. You've heard the skip-ins. Now let's go to the train wrecks because I got 3 of them for you. All right. First one. It is the Thursday night game, Miami versus Buffalo. This game's going to go off the rails for so many reasons, right?
I think last year we made a no Thursday night rule for this purpose, but I want to keep hearing what you think about this game specifically.
All right. Listen, let me get the more tasteless take out of the way because I'm going to go out here and throw it out. All right, you still have Damar Hamlin and Tua Tagovailoa. All right, those two are just, you got to keep an eye on both of them and see what happens. Okay, specifically right now, I'm more concerned about Tua. That accelerated CTE might be taking over his brain, and that's why this offense is not clicking well. And then, of course, Miami's just bad. So the Buffalo Bills look like an absolute juggernaut to start the season. You could see a game where, like you mentioned it earlier, 50-10. That could be a possibility. That is an absolute can't keep the head coach getting embarrassed like that on the island game. Next one that I have on the docket for you. It's Carson Wentz. It's Jake Browning. It's the Vikings. Yeah. It's the Bengals. And listen, both these backup quarterbacks are going to have some elite wide receivers to throw to. Both of them have really not good offensive lines protecting them. Something's got to give.
Vikings are down to our 3rd and 4th running backs.
There you go. Listen, and Cincinnati can't run the ball. It doesn't matter who they have back there. They just can't fucking run the ball. So something's got to give in that game. Which one of these backup quarterbacks just says, fuck it, my LSU receiver's down there somewhere. I can't wait. That one excites me for all the wrong reasons.
Hey,
And
yo.
then, and then you have an NFC South game. All right. You have the Carolina Panthers, who are just kind of bad, and then the Atlanta Falcons, who have a penchant for blowing leads, losing games that they should not be losing under circumstances that do not make any sense unless you are a Falcons fan. In that case, gentlemen, something's got to give there as well. And that one's going to be a train wreck of a game, I think. I think it's going to be a very exciting, bad football game. So, that said, I think it's time for us to vote, gentlemen, on the train wreck game of the week. Bethke, would you like to throw in your vote first?
Watch America's favorite train wreck, the Dallas Cowboys, play this week at 3:30.
And to be fair, it's the Bears, so that could just always be a train wreck.
Yeah, for the Bears.
I mean,
Yeah.
but any game that ends in one of those terrible fourth quarter, terrible coaching moves is
I
always
saw
fun.
a little bit of propaganda here where the first two players of the week have been against the Bears. So, Dak Prescott?
CD? Darian?
No, they're racist. It's always quarterbacks.
Turpin.
No, it's got to be a quarterback. The NFL doesn't give out awards to
Joe Milton.
Here we go. Yeah, so there's a bunch of options, especially with all the backup quarterbacks. A lot could happen. I do think you have a point about Minnesota versus Cincinnati potentially being the biggest one. Yeah, hard. Carolina, Atlanta is also good too, though. I think those are two solid choices. I don't know how to pick between those.
All right, well, you
I'm gonna
decide.
say Carolina, Atlanta, because that's at least like rookie Cam Ward could really do some rookie stuff.
Wait, did you say Cam Ward?
He's not Carolina. I'm an idiot.
No, that's Bryce Young.
Oh God. Okay, yeah. Then there you go. I'll pick that one.
All right, I'm gonna put in Minnesota, Cincinnati. It's the return of Carson Wentz. He's playing for Patrick's team. I have to see this. And it's gonna be I think it's gonna be an absolute disaster class. And I cannot wait because you know why? And this just because I get to use this little clip over here just to see what's going on inside the brain of Carson Wentz. It's going to be a great time. All right. But with that said, it's time to preview the game that I thought was the most must-watch game of the week. It is the Detroit Lions against the Baltimore Ravens.
The Saints go to Seattle.
No, how dare you? That's gross. That was also a candidate for a skip it. But then I might just have a rule where all Saints games are skip its at this point, as they continue their hard tank to the number 1 overall pick for Garrett Nussmeier, maybe. But anyway, so no, the reason that I'm very excited about this particular matchup, right? You have two teams that have different identities. You have the Lions who are still trying to find their identity, right? But it seems that all signs point to building around their talented running back in Jahmyr Gibbs, while still kind of keeping Jared Goff in sort of a rhythm to be able to throw to, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Try to make, as many good plays as possible without turning the ball over in the absence of Ben Johnson. And then you look at the Baltimore Ravens, where they are just built to win in any form or fashion as long as Lamar Jackson is healthy. And so you look at it and like, all right, well, who has the advantage here? The advantage goes to the team with the better quarterback. This is Lamar Jackson, right? And I believe this is a home game for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Baltimore Ravens are no strangers to slow starts, so if they lose this game, it's not the end of the world. But I think if the Detroit Lions lose this game, they are in a really tough spot, despite the fact that this division right now, because of the injury to the Minnesota Vikings on the offensive line and at quarterback, they might be able to hang around in that second place spot as Green Bay seems to be rolling right now early in the season. Nobody has to worry about the Chicago Bears suddenly getting steam. So you look at this and you're like, all right, well, it's not the end of your year, but the NFC might get a little bit competitive for that wild card spot, and that's what they might be fighting for. And you don't want to lose any ground early on in the year. So that said, though, I'm going to predict that the Baltimore Ravens win this one in what will, I think, be a relatively competitive game. I'll be interested to see what kind of lead Baltimore gets, because if they get a big lead, then it's time to sweat one out, Ravens fans, because you know how your coach gets when he has a huge lead. He just seems to blow it way more than any other head coach does. If it's a close game, you have Derrick Henry, you have Lamar Jackson to ice it out, and you can be comfortable. So I got the Ravens winning over the Lions. Gentlemen, do you guys want to do a prediction here? I mean, I think you guys have already done your picks, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we both we both think the same thing as you as far as who's going to win that game. I do think it's probably a toss-up, though. But yeah, kind of just speak to your point on the divisions. Baltimore has no one to compete with in their divisions. They can stack up a few losses with Burrow out. So
yeah, that's a good point. Now that I think about it,
in Cleveland, you think they're? I don't think there's a lot of noise to be made there. At least no one who's going to establish a big lead or anything.
Yeah, you're right on that one. Yeah, well, maybe I guess either one can afford to lose this game. Although it's better not
to, obviously, but
and in terms of Baltimore's, though, I don't look at it from a division standpoint, because I have them winning that division, I think. Or maybe I picked Cincinnati and I'm regretting that now.
No, you didn't. Jesus picked Cincinnati.
Oh, thank God.
Me and you picked Baltimore. Somebody picked Pittsburgh.
Because they're going to win.
They still could, for sure.
They are.
But yeah. No. Either way, Baltimore's trying to get that number one seed. They're trying to get the playoffs to go through them again. So I think that's why it is a little bit more important for them to win this game than for the Lions. But yeah, that's all I got for the football segment this week, gentlemen. We can go ahead, kick things off to the second half of the show.
Oh, wait.
Is there?
No, not really. There's nothing. We're just going to say bye.